Okay, we'll try this again. So, by now I'm sure you've seen that this video is going to be about changing strings on an acoustic guitar. And I've got some things here that are usually good to have, some supplies that I usually use when I change the strings out. These are the cheapest strings I could get from Guitar Center. These are 11 to 52, the 11 being the thinnest E string, the 52 being the thickest string. And they make them heavier and lighter depending on your playing style. A tuner is always good to have. This thing is from Diodario, and it's a peg winder. It's got the string cutter, and then for the acoustic guitars, you can use that to remove the pegs. Also, I've got this thing, which is cool, although I've never used it. But if you're like in between sessions and your string breaks or something and you need it super fast string change for some reason, you can always have this option. Of course, you want to put that. So there's that. Just showing some options here. And if you don't have a tool like this or this, it's alright. I found that wire strippers have that part right there in the top is good for pulling acoustic guitar pegs, and even just pliers, needle nose. If your pegs are something like you would be afraid to get damaged or whatever, you know, by the grabbing here, put a little masking tape or painter's tape around the, you know, the tip of the pliers there to protect the finish. There won't be any scratches and all that. If you can see, this one has all kinds of bite marks. So if your guitar is you know, a 1 in a million collector's piece that you probably don't want to get scratched up, there are precautions you can take. Alright, so now the guitar that we're going to be working on is this Martin X Series Special. I've had it since 2019. Always like to have a, you know, a foam block or some kind of cushion underneath your guitar. You know, if you're not worried about it, then, you know, don't worry about it. But it does help prevent, you know, unwanted wear and tear on your instrument. I'll put that there, and it's nice to have this headstock elevated. You can't see it really. There you go. And they make special little, you know, cups. You can set them in and whatever. This is baby wipes. It's just at the right height. And I put that towel over there just to make it look a little bit less like, you know, baby wipes. And if you have cats, then you'll know that they will always steal your guitar case. And then they'll tell their friends about it, and they'll have a block party in your guitar case. It's just, I don't write the rules, that's just how it is. Alright. And the music in the background is just more music from my YouTube channel. So I wouldn't get busted with the copyright crap. You know what I mean? Alright. So, this might sound a little dumb, but it's always a good idea when you're working with things that are under tension that may have what they call potential energy or stored energy, to wear personal protective equipment. You don't have to. You don't have to listen to what I say. It's just precaution. Sometimes your string might break, or while you cut it, you know, with the thing after you got it tightened. I mean, not every string that comes from the factory is going to be perfect. You know, it may have a defect or a flaw or something, and it's just, you're putting a lot of tension on these things, and just wants you to be safe. At least learn how to play guitar before you go blind, so if you don't have your eyesight, you can still, you know, enjoy your hobbies. But let's just try to not go blind. Alright. So, let's see. I've never used this thing before, so let's see how this works. So you want to put that in reverse, obviously. I mean, it might not be obvious to you. I don't mean to talk condescending. The reason I'm making this video is because I feel like there may be some people who don't know how to change strings, or maybe there's, you know, tools and techniques that might be more applicable to your situation. Anyway, all right. So we got this on the low gear and in reverse. Let's see, can we see it all right? All right, let's see. Stick that in there, maybe. Oops. Okay. So on a drill, apparently, okay, you saw what just happened. Let's, first of all, let's establish which way we need to freaking turn it to unloosen it. Which is that way. Okay. And this is strange. And I don't know if this just happened or what, but if you look on the tuning mechanism there, the machine, all of the rest of these have a little plastic, I don't want to say a bearing, but like a washer of some kind. And this on this Martin here, I highly doubt that was under such extreme torque that it just snapped that. That might have already been broken. I can't be sure. I'll try it with some of the others, and if it continues to snap them, then maybe we need to write a letter to Diodario and drill bit peg winder attaches to any cordless screwdriver for faster and easier string changes. Built from high performance polymer, the drill bit peg winder can accommodate vintage to modern guitar and bass tuners. All, let's see, one size fits all design. So there's no like instructions or anything. Well, anyway, let's continue what we're doing and we'll check that out later. So we want to go that way. So on this particular drill, that's going to make that go in the tightening direction. Let me get you in the shot here. That is pretty handy. Come on. Oh! See? I don't even know why or how that happened. Unless I should have been loosening it. See? Make sure you got your safety glasses. You never know when weird shit like that's gonna happen. Alright. Okay. Let's see here. See if I can zoom you in a little bit. So, removing these things. Where the hell? Oh, okay. Removing these things. I'm gonna sit down. I am going to sit down. Too old for this shit. Alright. Removing these strings here. It's good to have pliers, just so you can wrangle these things out of here. I want to get that hole kind of just in the direction you're going to be pulling from. Even though it's completely loose, you want as little resistance as possible. See how that one just popped right out? It's just going to make your life a lot easier. And that one, see, that one just snapped right off. That's another one. You never know just right how close you are to having a string break. It really is. I mean, maybe years and years ago it was more expensive to replace strings or whatever frequently. I remember when I was growing up, it wasn't like, you know, hooray, I'm going to change my strings today. It was like, let me break as many as I possibly can first before I buy a pack of strings. Because I don't know if it was just money constraints or just maybe it felt like a hassle to have to replace the strings. Now some guitars are much easier to replace the strings on. Acoustic guitars are just about as simple as you can get. The hardtail, like Bigsby, or that's a Bigsby is not a hardtail, but like a hardtail Gibson Les Paul, those are pretty easy to replace. Most acoustic guitars just have this, drop the string in, and the thing, Strat style has the strings that come up, you know, from the underside. The ones that do get a little bit more technical sometimes are like the Floyd Rose, like the Jacksons. This is a whole nother video for another time, but just for the sake of, there's a lot of different styles of you know, bridges. So just take some time to study whichever one you're going to be working with. And let's see where we're at here. Alright, I'll move you back down here. And we can work on pulling these things out. Don't take off your safety glasses yet. You're going to need them. Alright. I'll just show you for as an example. You might want to, I should practice what I preach, right? Okay. Just need a little bit of this. Put it around there like that. These are just very basic jeweler's pliers for crafts and stuff. They're not expensive. Let's see here. The hardest part is doing what I'm doing, but you know, whatever. If you're not worried about it, like I said, just don't worry about it. But it's easy to, and you can use Scotch tape, you can use this tape, duct tape, literally anything. Hell, sometimes I've had like a t-shirt and just gone in with pliers and pulled them out. Like, you just do what you gotta do. Oops. Convenience is not always available. You want to have something to keep those in, also because you don't want to lose them. And if they fall in there, they're a lot of fun to get out. This thing was, I don't know, let me check on Google before I tell you a price and it's wrong. D'Addario string winder, I don't know what it's called. Okay, looks like this one, Guitar Center and Sweetwater are both $11.99. So that's a very helpful thing to have. And this, see how that's got open and it's closed down there, so you can go into here and slide right up on it easily, right? Easily. Pull it out. There you go, like that. It feels like it should be easier than that, but it's not. Go under here like that. Put your finger there and pull it out. There you go. And make sure you know where these strings are at all times, because they can do things without your permission. Okay, now what I like to do with these strings, you want to, let's see if I can get it. You want to wrap it a couple times and take the ends and wrap them up into themselves like so. Basically what you're doing is keeping them all in one place, so you don't drop one onto your carpet and then not realize it until you go walking around barefoot and end up piercing your toe, which is never fun. So yeah, just something like that, so they don't go flying all over the place. My cats love chasing springy, wiry things, and while it would be fun to watch them play with it, these are like needles, you know, and if it goes in their little eye or their nose or something, it'll hurt them. So don't let them play with that. Don't scare the shit out of them when you throw it in the garbage either. So I don't think I've ever even seen this thing come out, actually. That's funny. It appears on this particular guitar, if I can get over here to it here. This is an acoustic electric, so it looks like the pickup for the electronics in here is underneath the bridge. So basically the string resonates on the bridge piece, whatever it is, this thing, and it sort of is picked up by that by those electronics in there. And I haven't really researched that much, so I don't really know how well it works or it's supposed to work. And somehow I've changed my settings on here and I'm not even sure how. Okay, all right, so anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, you want to take that out every now and then, and just because that's the way that this connects on that pickup is going to affect your overall sound quality in the long run. So when you're doing a string change, just pull that off and wipe it down a little bit and get it clean. Make sure you put it back in there the right way. I wasn't even paying attention when I took it out, but shit. Looks like this has focus. Can you focus? Okay. This has like the grooves where like the string would be, the bigger string, so I'm gonna assume that's gonna go that way. Okay, now we need a rag or a sock or a blanket or just about anything will do. Just so we can wipe down the neck with some of this good stuff here. Now, I will point out that this has a lot of kind of yucky stuff in it, like whatever, the butane, isobutane, propane. So we are going to work on developing a product that's more natural. It's not going to be harmful for you or your instrument or your pets or you. I'll just say that. Anyway, yeah, so this stuff is good. I mean, it's been around my whole life, so if it was such a terrible product, then I'm sure they would probably discontinue it. So let me get my next song here. Alright, spray a little bit of this on here. Get the headstock too, and a little bit. Oop, yep, not exactly like that, but just for cosmetic reasons. Get some of the dust and all the stuff that might be all over the guitar. You just kind of want to go through and get your fretboard wiped down, get all the gross stuff from your fingers and, you know, like sweat and dead skin and oil and grease and Cheeto dust or whatever the hell is on your fingers while you're playing guitar. down the headstock a little bit here. Alright. Not hard. Not a huge undertaking, just basically preventative maintenance, more or less. I don't know how my camera just changed settings by itself. These things happen to me a lot and I can't explain it, so I won't try. Okay. We need to open the strings. Let's see, I don't know if you can see me. No, you can't. Okay. So the bigger the number, basically the bigger the string or the gauge. When you pull these things out, you want to make sure you did not remove your safety glasses when you went to the bathroom. Okay. These are, just hold them like this, you know, make sure it's not going to unravel, because if you do, just one little thing, hold on, it will, ta-da, now you have no eyeballs, so don't do that. Alright, this, put this, see, it's got that little groove in it. Come on. You basically want that groove to be up against that string, like that. Put that string in there about to the depth of the end of that peg there. So put that in there and then just push that peg down. And then just bring this baby back on up this way. And this camera thing is really freaking me out. Okay. Put that up in there like that. Pull that. Taut or tight, however you want it. Snug. You want it snug. And don't be cutting it yet. You want to make sure you got all that you need. Let's see. We're going this way. Nope. Let's go this way. And every once in a while, you want to, every couple turns, you want to come back down here and push on that a little bit. If you can, if it's possible, if you have a setup like this, you want to hold that down while you're turning the knob, because it don't happen a lot, but it can. Just pop that sucker right out, especially if it's an older guitar or the peg's worn out or whatever. Alright, so just get that so it's tight. Don't worry about trying to tune it right now. You're just going to waste your time. So hold that. See how it flops like that? You want to make sure that it's just away from your face when you unravel that. So put it to the end of that, the depth of the peg. Push that down on in there. And then here. I don't want that in there. Go from the inside out. Pull that tight. Whoop. Now I'll just show you because I was just talking about that. See how that popped up? You want to hold that down while you're tightening the string. I'm just tightening them with my hand. I haven't been using this just because I like being able to monitor the tightness. It's hard to judge the tension on the string when you're using a tool like that, but to each his own, I suppose. Alright, I'm going to do this again. Pull that out. Keep it away from your face. Get all the stored energy out of it. Let it do what it wants to do here. I'm going to take this. Put that string in there at the tip of the peg. Get the groove facing towards the sound hole. Pull it up. Go from the inside. Motherfucker. Do as I say, not as I do. Alright. Hold that. And then begin to twist the knob. The tuning machine or the whatever you want to call them, tuners, the twisty bits, whatever, the thingamajigs. So you basically just want enough tension on them strings, those strings. I'm not from North Carolina, I promise. To hold the bridge piece down and this lateral tension is perpendicular to the peg. Should keep those in there. Keep the bridge thing down just long enough for us to get all the strings on there. And once we get all the strings on there, then we'll focus on tuning and all that stuff. Now with acoustic guitars, up to the G string is usually it's wound like that, but on electric guitars usually the G string is going to not be wound. It's going to be just a steel string. So you better not be eating them strings. Anyway, and even for acoustic guitars, I still sometimes it helps when you're when the gauge of the string is very thin. Sometimes it can slip while you're tuning it. Not break, but it'll slip. The tuning will slip out. So I'm not going to do it for this string here, but for the steel strings I will. I'll show you. You want to you're not tying it in a knot. Trust me, you don't want to do that because it'll be a bigger pain in the butt when you try to change your strings later. But you want to go through the tuning machine and let's see if I can get you zoomed in over here. You want to go through the tuning machine the first time and come back around go through a second time. And that adds just an extra layer of protection when you're tuning your guitar. It sometimes helps prevent it from going out of tune. I'll show you on some electric guitars. They have certain devices, tuning mechanism, or tuning peg, not tuning pegs, tuning machines. Usually aftermarket, but some of them you can find still from the factory. It just might cost you a little more up front. For my Strat, I bought Fender brand locking tuners, and let's see here, and of course they didn't come from the factory with locking tuners. Of course, when I bought it from the, I didn't buy it, my dad bought it for me, but that's not the point. What I'm trying to say is, generally speaking, they're not going to come with locking tuners. You're going to have to upgrade your instrument later, at a later date. And changing those things out are not a big deal. Just don't do like I did. You want to make sure you have the right tools for the job and you're using them the right way. Because I think most people could be DIY people. They wouldn't have to take their instrument to a technician every time they wanted it a setup. But the reason that the technician makes all the money is because most people don't have the specialty tools needed to do a proper setup on a guitar. So, all right, just for the sake of conversation, this is my Fender. It's in pieces right now. I'm doing a upgrade overhaul on it. I had bought these locking tuning pegs, tuners, locking tuners, I guess. And basically what they do, so I can get it lined up here for you. Maybe, let's see. If you look down in there, there's a pin that comes up when you tighten it. And it clamps down on that string, and this guitar will stay in tune through hell and high water. Ask me how I know. So these things are just indispensable. If your instrument is going out all the time, playing gigs and bars and churches or whatever you do, having something like that to keep it in tune is going to be beneficial. Also, if your guitar looks more like this and you got these, most of the Floyd Rose systems will have a locking nut up here, so your instrument doesn't go out of tune hardly at all, really. I mean, it's phenomenal to have that, but I'll have to do another video another time on how to change the strings on your Jackson or LTD or Schecter or whatever it is you have, a similar design with the Floyd Rose setup, Floyd Rose type deal. Okay. Always good to have a tuner. Just for the sake of, just because I don't want to tell you wrong. Chord CA30. I got this from Goodwill, I think. Okay, there's one on eBay for $100. That can't be right. Reverb has $19.50. 50 for a used one. A used one from Sweetwater is $26. But there's the new improved version, the let's see, GA50, the newer version of this, apparently $14.95. So if you can spend $15 and buy a tuner, don't go on eBay and buy this one used for $100. Just take my word for it. Okay. I'm going to pause the music for a moment, and then we'll turn this thing on. And with any luck, I guess maybe I should write down the order of the strings, just in case anyone needs to know. I don't know where my freaking marker went, but okay. So people number them in different ways, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or this one, the thinner one, being number 1. That I don't know if there's a standard for that. I don't know, but we'll put thicker to thinner. All right, so it's gonna be E, A, D, G, B, and E. The tuner is set to 440 hertz. That's a whole nother video that just, if you're just starting out, you don't even need to be worried about all that right now. It gets complicated. You can make some amazing new chords that have never been heard before, but you should focus on learning the basics first. Okay, I think I got that right. So if that's right, so I'll turn this around so you can see, maybe. And you really need all other sounds, especially music, just quiet right now, because as you can see, as I'm talking, it's picking up on my voice. So the way to avoid that is to plug your instrument into there. So if this was just an acoustic guitar, I wouldn't be able to do that. So if you're changing strings on acoustic, you're using a tuner that's got a microphone, you just want to try to be as quiet as you can so you get an accurate tuning. So hit that string, and you want that little needle to be pointing straight up and down. See how the little B looking thing and the pound sign, this means flat, this means sharp. So if you're flat, that means that you're a little bit under the key that you're trying to be at. If you're sharp, that means you're a little too high. So all right. Oops, wrong way. I probably should have looped that one through. It was just so thin. But we'll just keep an eye on it. You'll notice that once you start putting tension on these strings, what's happening is they're stretching. They're settling in, you know, up here, they're settling around the tuning machine. And sometimes you'll hear a little slip or a pop. It can be the most nerve-wracking thing ever, waiting for that string to break or pop, even if it never does. It's just like impending doom. Every guitar player just has this anxiety. Alright, now you've done all that. Putting tension on the neck is going to change it a little bit so you get all your strings tightened up. You want to go back through and make sure everything stays in tune. Almost. Now, you can do this if you like. It doesn't really make much of a difference, but what I like to do sometimes is when I'm just putting new strings on it, I'll kind of go up here and put a little extra tension on them. So it'll go ahead and stretch them out for you, so you can just focus on the tuning part. So not always advisable, but do what you want to do. Let's see here. If you notice that you're a little sharp, the best thing to do is, instead of loosening and going back down into it, you want to loosen it where you're flat again and come up slowly. That way you're applying like an even tension on your string. It'll stay in tune better that way. Now, we got it pretty much tuned. It's not going to be perfect, probably for the first couple times that you play. So just keep that in mind. It will probably go out of tune. Now you got it tuned. What you want to do is come up here at about 1/4 of an inch. Maybe, yeah, probably 1/4 of an inch. Take that off of there. Put that in a place where your cat's not going to go get it, like mine's currently doing. Don't play with that. You can only help them so much. Alright. Regardless if you leave them on here or you cut them off, you just always want to be aware of the headstock, because there's always a chance of injury. Now they're little freaking needles sticking at the top of your freaking guitar, so just be careful, don't hurt yourself. And I guess now we wasted an hour putting this freaking thing together, but just pick it up and see how it sounds. Terrible. All right. Like I said, you want to go through and tune it a little bit now and then. Just fine tune it. Do what you can. Do what you need to do. And remember, everybody's tuning might be a little bit different. You might be trying to get your instrument tuned to somebody else's instrument. As you can see, I don't mind the mess in here, but I got a few other guitars, so sometimes it's hard to get all of your instruments all in tune with each other. So just, you know, if you're at a gig, you might just have to tune to the guitar player, the bass player, the whatever next to you. If you can tune to a keyboard or a piano, that might make your life a lot easier if you don't have an electric tuner like that. But always remember, this is what you need to be tuning to. One of my first teachers told me elk and deer got big ears, and you can make it whatever you want it to be, whatever helps you, because you're not learning guitar because somebody else wants you to. I mean, if you are, you can, whatever, but if you're playing because you want to learn, because you want to be a musician, because you've got emotional needs to be expressed through music, then all of these little tips and tricks are only here to help you do what you want to do, to help you out in the long run. So this is just my advice. There are many other people out there with other opinions, and that's cool too. So just do what you love what you do. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's been an hour, but if the content on this channel is something that you might benefit from, consider subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.